Hi there, good evening. Hi, it's April Braswell, and I'm a holistic life coach here in Orange County. I'm the founding president for the Newport Beach chapter of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, thank you for joining me. And what I do during this quarantine is on Friday and Saturday nights. Because we've all had the buildup of the anxiety and tension and stress during the week, EFT, more popularly known as tapping, is a great way to take all of that negative buildup and use our Meridian System in a very light, non-invasive way, which actually genuinely has a noticeable effect on us physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, in a fairly short period of time. So I like to do that, and I offer it in particular on Friday and Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time during the quarantine, because one of my specialties as a coach is as a sober mentor for women. I've been specializing in working. Hi, thank you, welcome. Thank you for chiming in. Please give it a thumbs up and comment below when you can, and chime in and let me know where you're connecting from. Thank you. I appreciate it, and this is a wonderful tool for people, so please, even later afterwards, when the video posts here at my page, April Braswell Biz, hi, good evening, thank you. When the video posts, please be sure to give a little comment and say hi, you enjoyed it, and what's going on for you, what your stress or tension is that's going on, and share with others where you think it'll be a blessing for them. So I use a number of tools as a holistic living coach. I am not super fantastic on everything for the diet the way that some of the holistic nutrition people are. I know some, not everything. They know like every diet plan out there. I know a few, but not like they do. I'm all about using natural and holistic options for our life, including the doTERRA essential oils, and I circled that for years, so I really picked it specifically because of its quality and potency. The essence, literally the quintessence that it has, the spirit essence it has. Secondarily is I'm a well-trained and incredibly well-trained hypnotherapist here in Orange County. I am so well-trained, I'm actually a hypnosis instructor. It's kind of like the highest level of attainment you can get. It's like master certified hypnotherapist. I have like multiple titles. There's no higher title now, or I would keep attaining more. So I'm bringing all of that really is about the science of the mind. Excuse me. I'm making dinner tonight, and I had a few tastes of it to make sure while the sauce is simmering while I'm doing this, so I'm burping a little bit. Pardon. So I bring all of those in. I am Christian. My partner is Jewish, so we have that religious perspective. When I refer to divine, I'm referring to God of the Bible. You might be thinking a broader term than that, and so long as it is of love and light and aligned with people's highest good and a blessing for them, God bless, I'm fine with that. I've been to Auschwitz-Birkenau, so I do not say that all roads lead to the same place. They do not. So I am always of that essence. That is the essence that is coming through me when I talk about divine. And the divine, I'm referring to God understood from the Bible. And I think this is not even about a religious thing. There is literally those who often think in terms of the universe or source or spirit. Hi, thank you, welcome. Hi there, please chime in the comments and say hi and let me know where you're connecting from. Thank you to both of you, thank you, and give it a thumbs up, give it a heart, and let me know how things are going where you are, what the stress and anxiety is that you're dealing with. I'm starting to hear from people both around the United States here, a little bit in Canada. We've had a few sort of little lifting going on. At the same time, I also hear from folks to other countries where they really have absolutely no idea what's going on. And I am one where my partner is my fiance, my life partner. He is 14 years older than I am, so he is in a high risk age category. So we are very conservative, not out of paranoia, not out of wanting to induce panic and anyone else. I don't talk about it a lot that way because I don't want to give energy to that. I do that because I love him and God has given him to me in terms of my being protective, careful, safe for him. So there's a lot of protection that I do. I have two really nice new face masks. I'm the one who goes to the grocery store. I'm younger, so I'm less at risk. And of course, when I get home, I change clothes. They go straight to the laundry, and I then also take a shower and scrub hot water to get all the germs and everything. Hi, thank you, welcome. Chime in the comments, give it a thumbs up, and let me know where you're connecting from. I'm hearing people having some different stresses now because it's been just about a month, 4 weeks that we've been doing this. And people are kind of getting used to it in its own way and getting maybe a little lax in a few ways. And others, especially the folks who are over 45 and especially those who are like over 40 or so, whether it's them or a loved one, where we're all being careful because of our loved ones who we live with or we come into close proximity. We're being very, very careful. And I know some people who are just thinking, oh, it's no big deal, and it's no big deal to come within a short space with others. The reality is it can be. So we're just being safe. This isn't about paranoia. This isn't about like limiting my liberties. It is one of the things here in the United States. We have so much amazing liberty, even while being at home, alone, and all that. I have a wonderful smartphone. I have a computer. I have Wi-Fi. It gets glitchy at times. This is life right now. Is it frustrating? Yes, it is. And hi, Edward. Thank you for joining. At the same time, I feel very, very blessed and very fortunate. So I do not feel like, at least not rationally, not my rational brain, I don't feel like my liberty is seriously curtailed. I've been doing internet work. I'm a coach. I'm a hypnotherapist. I have been delivering that internationally for 12 something years now. Really since I started doing internet marketing. And thank you, shout out to Kevin Hogan, kevinhogan.com. He is awesome as a mentor and has a number of very hands-on super help. Hi, thank you. Super help, where to get people up and started with internet marketing in a very ethical way, if I can put it that way. It's not super pitchy, false salesy. So I'm very, very glad I started doing that 12 years ago. I think a lot of us, when we actually think about it, most of us have been doing some kind of business. We've maybe bought something on eBay. We're buying stuff on Amazon all the time. That paradigm, we've had that for years. And so each of us needs to pivot a bit in some way with our work to where we're doing it remotely. And I had a lady, must have found my name and email somewhere because I put the stuff out there to be findable for clients and customers. And she did this really spammy email about, all of you hypnotists, all of you hypnotherapy people, oh my God, how are you doing this? I'm the one who's the only one who's been delivering hypnosis services remotely. And I'm like, oh, bless your heart, honey. I just like deleted and unsubscribed. And I was like, bless your heart. But I've been doing that for years because I got modeled to me. So if there's some way there, and I know actually, Edward, we're going to help you with that. I know he had a stuff with starting his website, and I do not promise like the super bells and whistles for your website, but I can help people do it themselves. For him, he's a friend. I'll actually help do it for him directly. But that is one of the classes that I'm aiming to create, is about like a 60-day class for starting your own WordPress blog in the simplest way possible. So that'll be something I'm going to be offering. What I want for tonight is, so I've been hearing people where I had one girlfriend where this was the case. I had two friends this week where their living situation changed dramatically during COVID. One, they actually ended up buying where they're living, and that was kind of like an ultimatum they were given back in January. And thank God all of that started and kicked in, and they were able to complete that literally this week. Whereas I have another girlfriend who rents, and she rents in a nice area. You know, it's not the most expensive out there, but it's definitely, you know, LA. You know, a lot of us, I have relatives who live elsewhere in the country. And when they hear like a regular rent for just like a nice place, not even like super nice, to them it's staggering, and that's a house payment for 2 months. And we're like, that's rent. So she realized very smartly and very sagely that her living expenses were staying the same, and that her income for a time got a hit. And she very smartly pivoted very quickly with getting and realizing that where she was living was not sustainable for her for rent. And she found a new place very quickly, gave notice, and is packing and moving and doing it like that. And I'm like, Shazam, she pivoted super quickly. So if there's some way that you're needing to pivot with your work, with how you're getting some of your care. I know so many doctors and health providers are doing telecare. So I'm sure you're getting that. But if there's something where you're like, how am I going to do this? What is there? I still need help with pivoting for some part of your life during this COVID time around your income, your spouse. I know and hear a lot of people where they're still keeping their job, but their hours got kicked. And one girlfriend, this isn't just because around doTERRA, but doTERRA is an excellent model for earning an income. Is I have one girlfriend where she's in like accounts receivable, accounts payable in a place, and I was like, you know, you can offer that service, that ability through some of the, not Fiverr, but like those sort of places. I can't think of the name of it right now. There are online agencies where you can offer some of your administrative skills a la carte, where you can take on a few clients. And is this going to make you rich? No, it's going to put food on the table this week, this month, and a lot of people are needing that. So I want to bring all of that into tonight's EFT. It stands for Emotion Freedom Technique, and I first learned about it, I can't even remember how I stumbled across it, in the early days of my doing things with the internet in like 2007, 2008, when I lived in the Menlo Park, Palo Alto area. And you know, it's like, this is back when we had all the time to play and surf. We kind of do now too. And I remember I stumbled across it from one thing and just totally became enamored of it. And at the time, it was being expressed in this really complicated way. What we are accessing with very simple tapping with our fingers is our Meridian System. And a lot of us have heard of our Meridian System in some way. It's kind of Eastern medicine, when now it's become Western, where we know that because of acupressure and acupuncture. So this is a way of doing that with no needles, and it's not the full same thing as doing that, but we're accessing that system as well as the hemispheres in our brain with tapping. It is non-invasive. And even the touch we are doing on ourselves is so gentle. Even someone who has a condition like fibromyalgia, all the nerve damage ones where like literally the lightest touch can really hurt, you can do the lightest touch and it can stimulate your meridian system very gently. So the last 5 minutes in particular, this is why I do it Friday and Saturday nights at this time, is my gift for everyone there who is sober and who is keeping sober. And I heard, and I keep hearing about online AA meetings, And I'm sober now over 2 years. I do not struggle whatsoever. It's just like the gift from God that I do not. So I'm going to use some phrases about cravings and all that. And please know I am saying that to be a channel, a blessing, and to hold that space for those who are. And so I ask at the end, even if it's not an issue for you, please stick around those last 5 minutes, just the last rotation for the tapping, and hold the space for the others where they are struggling and this is an issue for them. Friday and Saturday nights, and even though it's different now during COVID, our unconscious mind still knows it's Friday and Saturday night, and early evening is the time when the cravings and the triggers start to kick in, and our little creative brain starts to go with like and making a plan for how to get drunk this night and how to get drunk. And I heard it expressed the best on the TV show Law and Order, SVU, by the old captain who had been sober in AA for years and had a few slips at times, and he used the expression of that the aim was to reach that wonderful oblivion. And the thing about Oblivion is it's the false look-alike. It's the false compensation look-alike. It's so close, kind of, to the experience of real bliss, that bliss we had when we were being breastfed by our mother and held close as an infant. And you know how babies will go to that bliss state afterwards? They're in that like sleep, and I'm loved and I'm fed and I'm taken care of. All my security is taken care of. That's the experience of Oblivion, but it's not. So we keep trying it because it feels like, oh, it's so similar, it's so close, and it's shallow and empty. So we just keep trying to attain it erroneously with alcohol or some other major substance. I have folks, I'm not fantastic with the drugs. I would refer you to someone else. My specialty really is alcohol. So at the very end, please stay around and just hold the space for them. So how we do it is, if you've never done before, is we're going to do a little karate chops on the side of our hand in that little section there, right here, under our finger. And then I like to use all the fingers here for activating our crown chakra, because I feel like when we do it that way, you can't miss. So it's like we don't have to be perfect. That's what I like about this system of tapping. We're not doing every single meridian point. We're doing a handful, a select group of them. And by doing that and starting on one side and then ending on the other side of the body, we're engaging both hemispheres of our brain, and we're activating our full meridian system. How we use the expression, and feel free to get out a little piece of paper and just write something down, and connect with your own inner wisdom here in just a moment with what you want to say. What's the thing that's going on for you around the anxiety, the stress? What has it been like? What are you missing? What are you annoyed by? And it may not be immediately like this big, quite often, especially in Southern California, it's not polite. We never use that really big word like, oh, I'm furious, or I'm this, I'm like, but so I'm this or I'm that. So I'm like, I'm annoyed. This bothers me. And feel free to just kind of start riffing with whatever is maybe a mild expression for you, and just start writing it down and give yourself that permission to feel the negative. It's one of the things I feel like quite often in our very positive and super positivity culture is we don't always own up to it and fess up to, I'm stressed, I'm cranky, I'm angry, this is ticking me off. I'm upset about that. That really hurt me. The painful things. You can own it. It's okay. And I have a post for that about you can shine your true colors here. However you are and whoever you are welcome here, and you are honored. Your essence is your divine spirit, your soul with God's essence, God's energy, His radiance with you, and interwoven and intermingled inside of you. So that is our essence, that we are to shine that amazing radiance. So once you kind of have that phrase of like, you're negative, And I've been kind of playing with and riffing with feeling discouraged because I feel discouraged. And things are actually a little bit better this week, so I really am using the word discouraged. Try to give it a number like 0 to 10 once you allow yourself to start feeling it. And put in there, so Edward, is there anything that maybe you're feeling that's a negative that you want to start with? And I'm doing negatives tonight. You can do tapping to expand and to accelerate a positive. So remember to do that later. It's just in particular, I felt very called to do this tapping sessions on Friday and Saturday for folks who were having stress and anxiety, and the anxiety with a struggle for keeping sober. So I want to be a blessing for them and for others. So once you have your number, go ahead and write that down. And I'm just going to connect with myself about my feeling of discouragement. And then it's actually been lowering. I started around like a 7 or 8 the other week, and yet last night it was around a 5. And I would even say it's probably around a 4. I have like a little piece of it that's a 5. So I'm going to keep even more so there. That like there's this one thing where it's closer to a 7 or 8. So I'm going to focus on that so you get the intensity. And what we use for the phrase is we start out with, even though I boo 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 your negative statement, I completely love and accept myself. And so that's the phrase we use. And you'll start to notice as you do the rotation, and I'll show you the full cycle, somewhere around here, we kind of exhale and have that little, and it seems to improve just a little bit. And it's somewhere around there, and it might take you actually a couple of cycles, like 2 or 3 cycles, for you to really start to notice an improvement. I'm just going to expedite it a little bit so we keep this as a manageable session tonight and a manageable recording for people. You are welcome to re-listen to it. You can do like just rewind it and keep doing it for yourself. So we are with you. And at the very end, when we end on the back of our hand on the other side, if you start on the right, it's going to be on your left hand. For me, I'm starting on my left, so it ends up on my right hand. And when we get to that very end, we actually turn it around to a little bit of a hopeful statement about whatever was the negative. So I will go ahead and give you an example. Because don't overthink what that statement's going to be yet, because it kind of comes out of you. It's kind of an organic process. And that's part of what's very cool with bringing in source and essence and God, the divine. That by bringing God's divine into us, God starts to glimmer and give us some thoughts and ideas. And we're like, oh, I'm actually kind of feeling a little hopeful with that now. Not in a super perky way, but like that little glimmer of hope. So we start on the side of our hand, that spot I showed you. And go ahead and start saying that phrase to yourself, whatever the negative is. Even though I've been feeling really discouraged in that one area with internet marketing, almost defeated. Even so, I completely love and accept myself. And even having that breath help, take a good inhale, fill the breath, get a good breathing going there with your lung and your heart, and breathe it in and and even though I've been feeling really a little discouraged and defeated, there's that word, defeated, with that one area of internet marketing, overwhelmed, and that's the thing. Defeated and overwhelmed, I completely love and accept myself. And then we're going to come down to here. And even though I've been feeling quite discouraged and even potentially defeated, in that area of internet marketing. Do you have a question?
Water on?
Turn the water on.
Okay.
Thank you.
I turned the other one on.
Turn it off. All the others should be off. We're making dinner at the same time. Everyone deals with this where we're all like teaming things at the house. We're like making dinner and having things come together. So take your fingers in this area between our eyes. And even though I've been feeling quite discouraged and possibly defeated, that old defeated and discouraged feelings, where a feeling of overwhelm starts to engulf me. It's like that wave starting to come up. I completely love and accept myself. I might need to do 2 rotations. And even though I've been feeling really incredibly surprised by that feeling of defeat in that area of internet marketing, where I just was like, oh, I completely love and accept myself. And even though I've been feeling discouraged and defeated, a little defeated actually, I feel like a little glimmer of hope in it. I completely love and accept myself. And even though I've been feeling that sense of overwhelm and complete, not quite complete defeat, but that like defeated feeling, discouraged, defeated, old, familiar, discouraged, defeated feeling, I completely love and accept myself, and I actually kind of have an idea of how to manage it better. And I completely love and accept myself. And we're doing this other area here, it's known as the pain point. And you just collarbone about 1 inch below. And just once we do it a little bit, you'll kind of notice if you like do it really hard, you start to have like a light bruising feeling. So do it lightly, enough you feel it. And even though that old, discouraged and defeated, overwhelmed feeling was starting to get triggered inside of me, I completely love and accept myself. And because I completely love and accept myself, I actually stopped the thing I was doing that was starting the spiral. I stopped doing it and I recentered with I knew what to do, and slowed things down and refocused on what I needed to do, that I knew what to do. And I do it over here on the side. Some people cross their arms. If you have my assets, feel free to do it on the same side. I do it around the area that's just below the bra strap, ladies. And even though I was starting to feel that engulfment of defeat and overwhelm, I was able to recenter myself, and I completely love and accept myself. And because I completely love and accept myself, God's love for me in a very concrete way started to come through. And I believed it, that what He's been giving me to do, He was never be setting me up to like fake me out, that there's going to be success in it. Not, this is the thing with alcohol, not for consuming, but because of the impact I want to have in the world and my vision for healthy, loving couples, families, and communities. Now I take 2 fingers. I do the section of my hand, my ring finger, about 1 inch below that knuckle on the back of my hand there. And now I take just 2 fingers and I do a gentle tapping there. And I'm now making the positive statement, because it really has shifted around for me, that focus of where my focus is on God completely loves and accepts me and has given me a vision and abilities to do that. So I completely love and accept myself. And I'm seeing the time, so keep doing that kind of a rotation. You actually want to do about 7 to 10 of them. I like to do kind of a minimum of 5. The idea is, though, I mean, of course, if you have more time, you can do a good like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of doing it if you really have the meditation time to do it. However, when you only have 15 minutes, 10 minutes even 5, you can start. That's what's so wonderful with EFT and tapping. is you can do it wherever you are. You can do it in your car, you can do it in the bathroom, you can do it in the kitchen, you can do it in the bedroom, you can do it in your office, you can do it in the backyard, sotto voce, so your neighbors don't hear you while you want to say something private. You can do it wherever you are and just turn things around genuinely. Hi, Gigi. Thank you so much for joining. And I know you just joined, so I want people to know, the people who are staying, thank you and bless you. This rotation, the last one, it is for folks who are struggling with alcohol and keeping sober, even if this is not an issue for you whatsoever. I know so many of you are light bearers and light workers. And when I use the expression hold the space and hold that vision and that intention of that being a blessing, please hold this space with me for the others. I think in particular the folks who are struggling. And I'm very blessed right now. All my clients who I have right now are at the stage of where they've all just started to have that experience of the freedom. So they're not struggling right now. So this is for all the folks who aren't even here tonight who are, where they're like, oh God, where is an AA meeting? And like going to an AA meeting online and feeling kind of awkward and all of that, and they don't even want to go. In particular, gentler, amiable types typically don't. And a lot of younger women who are extremely attractive really don't feel comfortable going. So all of those people and all the people even who are sober and have been for years, where you are white knuckling, this is for you. And so everyone who's staying on, thank you so much for holding this space. I'm going to use these words and say them for others, or say something for yourself, whatever is going on for you that holds true for you. So even though I'm having cravings for alcohol and getting drunk tonight, I completely love and accept myself. And even though I'm having cravings, mad cravings, where I can't think about doing something else until I have a plan for getting the alcohol, I won't rest calm until I have it. I completely love and accept myself. And even though those old cravings for alcohol are raising their head, I completely love and accept myself. And let out a good exhale there. Thank you. And thank you. I'm going to cry. Thank you so much for holding the space for all those people who are struggling. And that was me 2.5 years ago and 3 years ago. And even though I'm having those cravings for alcohol, those old triggers, the old thoughts, the old comfort, it never actually did it for me, did it? I completely love and accept myself. And even though you should shit, and that happens. There we go. Even though, and you might need to do that too, because we're all holding the space for others. Let out a good exhale. Even though I'd been having those familiar thoughts and cravings for alcohol, while I'm doing this, they're actually diminishing just a little. They're letting go just a little. And I completely love and accept myself. And even though I've been having those familiar cravings for alcohol, right now I'm choosing to stay sober. And I completely love and accept myself. And you can make whatever choice you want for yourself, whatever's going on for you. And even though I've been having those thoughts and images of cravings for alcohol and of turning to the alcohol, I'm choosing now to stay sober for tonight. I'm keeping sober. and I'm choosing to keep sober. And I completely love and accept myself. And even though I've been having those old cravings for alcohol, tonight I'm choosing to stay sober. And tonight I keep sober. And I completely love and accept myself. And now switch hemispheres of the body to the other side of our hand, to the back of our hand there, and take it to a positive statement for you, whatever is maybe true for you. And then just hold this space with me for others. You know, I originally tonight I had those thoughts for alcohol, those old cravings are so familiar. I grew up with them. Maybe you grew up with some and saw some. Maybe you have a family member who's still struggling. Thank you for holding this space for them. And tonight, I'm choosing to stay sober. And I'm really quite happy about that. In fact, I'm going to do something different just for tonight to do instead. And I'm going to watch a movie with Jordan. That's what we do. And, you know, if we had the time, you might want to go take a really nice walk. If we had the time to do that, I would love to go take a walk. It's really great physically to go do a different thing. All of us here who are hypnotherapists, you know what I mean. The physical act, and folks who do yoga or who are yoga instructors, you know how magical it is to get up and go do something differently. It's a whole nother hypnosis for our body. NLP folks, you know we are literally changing our mental state in the moment by getting up and doing something different. So I invite you to take a stand and do something different and positive right now with your evening. Thank you so much for all of you who joined me. I really thank you and I bless you. Thank you for holding the space for others who are struggling in some way with an addiction. It is more than just a simple compensation. It's more than just eating more bread or something like that. Addiction, that kind of addiction, is a whole thing. And if that is something that you know someone who's struggling in some way, or if someone, when you're listening to this later here at Facebook or over at YouTube later, if that is something you want support with, then you can message me. You can find how to reach me at my personal profile, or my phone number for my business is there in the message, and send me a text, send me an email or a message, and I'm happy to be one of the people to support you in some way. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for holding the space for love and light and being a blessing in a concrete way here in the world. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Go and have a wonderful evening with your loved ones, and God bless. Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.